In today's video, we start with comparators using op amps. Now, the first thing is a comparator compares a signal voltage on one input of an op amp with a known voltage called reference voltage on the other input. It is simply an open loop op amp with two analog inputs and one digital output. The output may be plus or minus saturation voltage depending upon which input is larger. The applications of comparator are first digital interfacing, Schmitt triggers, discriminators, voltage level detectors, and oscillators. For now, we just need to know the applications in name as such. Later on, with higher classes or higher studies, we can go in how these applications of comparator is achieved. That's for later part. Let's start with the basic comparator. Now, if you look at the circuit, it consists of an op amp with the input voltage being applied to the non-inverting input terminal through resistor R, and the reference voltage, that is 1 volt over here as shown, is applied to the inverting input terminal. Okay, and the output is taken across a load resistor of 10 kilo ohm. Now, here we see another two things, especially away from the normal diode circuits that we see. Two diodes D1 and D2 placed face to face or back to back rather, and in parallel. These basically work as regulator type, holding the voltage or clamping the voltage onto a certain level. As these diodes are silicon diodes, they clamp the voltage at around at the cut-in voltage, that is 0.7 volts. It will be either plus 7 volt or minus 7 volt depending upon which particular input is going how. These particular diodes are used for protecting the op amp from high input voltages. If the voltage goes high, then in that case either D1 or D2 starts conducting and it actually shorts and it does not allow the op amp being damaged to or presented to high current of voltages. That is how that is why it is indicated also that these two diodes D1 and D2 are protective diodes. And the supply obviously is, for the positive supply we have plus VCC and for the negative supply we have minus VEE. Now let's just take the entire circuit in words. First, fixed reference voltage V reference of 1 volt is applied to the inverting input, and the other varying time signal voltage V in is applied to the non-inverting input. Because of this arrangement, the circuit is called non-inverting comparator. Why? Because we are applying the input signal to the non-inverting input terminal. Okay, now when the input voltage is less than the reference voltage, the output voltage V0 is at minus V saturation, which is almost equal to the negative supply, that is minus VEE, since the voltage at the inverting input is greater than positive or the non-inverting input, as we have seen. So Vin is less since the reference voltage is connected to the inverting input and Vin is connected to the non-inverting input. So if Vin is less, then obviously the negative terminal input goes higher, is greater, and it drives the op amp into the negative supply value, that is minus VE. That is also, as a term in the output terms, will say negative saturation voltage. When Vn is positive or greater than V reference, in the sense positive, in the sense we are saying the difference is higher or positive, Vn is greater than V reference, the output voltage V0 is at positive V saturation, that is almost equal to the positive supply, that is plus VCC, since the voltage at non-inverting input is greater than inverting input. Diodes D1 and D2 protect the op amp due to excessive input voltages. As I have already discussed this, whichever when the input voltage goes very high, the diode starts conducting and it actually holds up at the the difference voltage actually against the op amp that appears is maximum 0.7 volts or minus 0.7 volts, depending upon which diode starts conducting first. So one is they are in opposite, so whichever gets biased first, it will be either plus 0.7 volts or minus 0.7 volts. And the reason why we are talking about 0.7 volts or minus 0.7 volt only, because the two diodes are silicon diodes, and the cut-in voltage for silicon diodes is 0.7 volts approximately. Hence the diodes are called clamp diodes. Why? Because whenever the input goes very high, voltage goes high, the difference voltage across the op amp that will appear due to the placement of these diodes is either plus 0.7 volts or minus 0.7 volts. So it is clamped up to this value. So it is called, these two diodes are protective diodes and are called clamp diodes. Thus, the output voltage changes from saturation level, one saturation level to another, depending on the value of V in with respect to V reference. We have seen it is, if it is V in is less, then it is minus Vsat. If it is if V in is greater than V reference, then it is plus Vsat. Hence, a comparator is a type of analog to digital converter. Okay. Another name for comparator is voltage level detector. Why we call it voltage level detector? Because we know that the input voltage is being compared to the reference voltage. So if it is positive Vsat, we know that the input is higher than V reference. If it is minus Vsat, then we know that the input voltage applied is lesser than the V reference voltage. So we know the level of voltage that is being applied with respect to the reference voltage that is we have set. So we know the level of the voltage that is being applied. That is why it is called voltage level detector. Now, if we look at the input output waveforms for two kinds of reference voltages. If the reference is positive in the first case, and if the reference voltage is negative in the second case. Taking one at a time, if it is, as we see this, the input voltage is indicated by this signal, the peak point being Vp, and the reference is set at 1 volt, that is, it is plus positive. So this is the positive reference voltage, and this is the negative peak minus Vp for the input signal. Okay. With respect to this, if we look at the output waveform, we know that the output is switching from plus Vsat to minus Vsat. Okay. Now if we just take a look at it, then for the period when the input crosses the reference voltage, only then, that is, in V input is greater than V reference, only then we have the value plus Vsat. As soon as the input signal drops below the reference, this is the dashed horizontal line is the reference voltage. As soon as it falls below, the input signal is falling below that level, immediately it switches to minus Vsat. And this is how it happens. Again, when the voltage rises above the reference, only then the output swings from minus Vsat to plus Vsat. This is the output waveform for with respect to the input signal when the reference voltage is positive. Now let's take a look at the input and output waveforms when reference voltage is negative. Okay. Now if you see, this is the input signal, this one, the zero level is this is minus V reference, that is minus 1 as per for our consideration over here. This is negative reference voltage. Okay. Now if you see, again the output will always switch from Vsat plus Vsat to minus Vsat. Only the value or the duration will depend upon what? When the input signal crosses or increases or becomes higher than the value of reference, only then it is plus Vsat. Whenever the value is below V reference, it will be minus Vsat. So over here, if you look, instead, as we can see with a parallel comparison, here the conduction started a little late until the input signal crossed the V reference. There is some duration over here. Now if you look over here, since the V reference is minus 1, or is in the negative or is of negative value, output will be, if you see, it starts conducting right at the start over here, because the input signal already has a higher value, greater is greater than minus v reference, the v reference value. That is why it is conducting over here, and it is always at plus v sat. As soon as the input falls below that, this dashed line is the reference level over here. As soon as the input falls below this, immediately it will switch from plus vsat to minus vsat. And similarly we have, again, when the input rises above v reference, again it will switch to plus vsat, and so on. So this is how, depending upon the reference voltage, the output waveform will alter actually. If you see, here we have this conduction part, positive part over here, and this is the negative part, which is a little bit larger as compared to the positive conduction. V plus vsat is more than less than the minus vsat portion. But if you look at this, the plus vsat portion is greater than the minus vsat portion. So this is how we actually can determine or design the digital output also. Depending upon the reference voltage, we will actually have the now of course the input signal also with respect to that, but mainly the reference voltage can set up the output waveform shape also. This is in addition to what you are studying right now. Now next thing is, as we have just completed with the basic comparator circuit, another important thing that remains is the characteristics of comparator in general. So there are three main characteristics. Let's start with speed of operation. The first characteristic is speed of operation. Now the speed of operation means the output of the comparator, which switches rapidly between saturation levels, and also it should respond instantly to any changing conditions at the input. If the input changes slightly, then it should immediately respond should have the corresponding change at the output. So for both the things, that is output also switching levels, saturation levels, and responding to the change in input, simultaneous action can be achieved only when the bandwidth is wide enough. The two simultaneous actions can take place only if the bandwidth is high enough. So wider the bandwidth, higher the speed of operation. So basically the speed of operation is determined by the bandwidth. If it op-amp has a higher bandwidth, then we will have higher speed of operation. Next is accuracy. The second characteristics of comparator is accuracy. Now accuracy depends upon four things: voltage gain, CMRR, that is common mode rejection ratio, input offsets, current and voltage, and fourth is thermal drifts. Now we will see one at a time how voltage gain affects accuracy, or how it is related to accuracy, and so on. The first thing, that is voltage gain. If the voltage gain is higher, then it requires smaller difference voltage to cause comparator's output voltage to switch, because it can amplify correspondingly, and then the output voltage will naturally switch if the voltage gain is high. Next comes CMRR. If CMRR is high, then it rejects the common mode input voltages. Common mode input voltages actually usually comprises of noise, so that gets eliminated at the input. If it has the CMRR is very high, then the input the noise at the input terminals is actually somehow rejected. Next, input offset current and voltages. It should be negligible, because what we are talking about is accuracy, and input offset current and voltage both. The term offset itself means that it is away from the correct value. So if the offset currents and voltages are negligible, only then we can say it is closer to accuracy. And the last one is thermal drifts. Thermal drifts is usually the temperature variations. Now if the temperature variations actually cause in, or the effects of temperature usually affects the offset currents and voltages. So if the temperature variation is very slight, and that is the change in input offset currents and voltages due to change in temperature is less or very insignificant, only then we can say the output is accurate. Because if temperature increases and correspondingly the offset also increases, in that case it has positive or negative values, and obviously it is drifting away from the exact values. So this sums up the second characteristics, that is accuracy. Next is the third characteristics, and the last one is compatibility of output. Compatibility means it is adapted to some kind of thing, or it is suitable for functioning or operation. That is called compatibility. Now compatibility of output is because comparator, we know, is a form of analog to digital converter. Input is analog and the output is digital, as we have seen with the circuit. Now the output must swing between two logic levels, plus VSAT, minus VSAT, as we talked about it, and these logic levels should be suitable for certain logic family, because all logic families have certain criteria of the voltages that it accepts. So like for transistor logic there is one set, for RTL there is one set, and so on. So CMOS logic has another set. So everywhere the voltage levels should be as per the required logic family. So this sums up the entire comparator topic. Now the first the question over here that I'll give is of higher cognitive level, and it is not usual review questions from the as compared to my earlier videos. What I said was that the comparator, the basic circuit that we studied just now, we have been referring, is non-inverting comparator. So can you design an inverting comparator? Inverting comparator, what it is and how will you design it? You have the reference of this video, and you have the slides also where you can refer to the non-inverting comparator circuit. So correspondingly design inverting comparator circuit, and also give the input and output waveforms of the comparator designed. Okay, the input and output reference waveforms will be for two levels: reference, where V reference is positive, and another V reference is negative. Okay, so please give it a try. If you can do that, that means perhaps you have already understood as to what has been discussed till now regarding comparators. I'll stop here. Thank you.